listening audience, you have to hear this interview. You know what? Everybody that knows me knows that I'm a Buckeye fan. I worked for OSU for about 30 some years. But as you go around in Buckeye land, you find out some interesting people, some very interesting individuals that are Buckeye fans. And they're more, I met the Buckeye man, who is more than just like a mascot. You see him at the games dancing and cheering OSU on, but he is doing a lot more than that. And I am glad to have him on our show. This is Yolanda Robinson in the know, and you're going to get in the know with our interview with the Buckeye Man. Buckeye Man, how are you doing today?
And I'm excited and happy to be here. This is unbelievable. You know what? I'm getting over I'm still licking my wounds, but I think we'll be okay. Right. It's already Wednesday.
Oh yes, we got next year. We if you don't do it once, you just keep on trying until you get it. All right, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it next year. But look, how have you been a Buckeye man?
Let me tell you what, man. I've been a Buckeye guy as long as I can possibly remember. Before I was born, I was destined to do this because my parents would always watch all the games. And years ago, they didn't show all of the Ohio State games on television. They were tape delayed, and you'd have to watch them at night. It was the strangest thing. And so we'd all stay up and doing everything. But then at the end of the year, there was a lot more people over watching the games, looking at, well, turns out to be, it's that School Up North's game. And so I was indoctrinated as Buckeye guy long time ago.
When you were just about how old were you? When you're talking about a long time ago, you said when you were born as a baby, you was a Buckeye man.
As born as a baby, but when I got to be I was an exceptional kid. I can remember stuff from where I'm 4 or 5 years old, like it's yesterday. And I remember all of the balloons. There was more chips. There was more popcorn. There was more pops. And that must have been that School Up North game, the rivalry game. And I'm telling you, my uncles would come over, my cousins and everything. Like I say, I was born into this, man. And it's still on me and still in me.
Yes. Well, you know what? I think a lot of households are like that. But, you took it a step above what just sitting in the house, cheering the Buckeyes on. You go to all the games.
Yes, home and away.
And you are bucked up. We call it bucked up when you got all your OSU stuff on. And all the time they have the camera on you. I do most of all the games, and you're dancing and everything. Are you paid by OSU to do that, or do you just do that on your own?
You previously said that you worked for OSU for 30-something years.
Yes,
you know the answer to that. Absolutely not. No way, no affiliation. I am a fan and fan only. It's on my own dime. I pay and work my own, I buy my own tickets, my own rent-a-cars, my own plane fare. And you know what? It's on me. And I'm exactly happy with that, to have a hobby such as mine.
Oh my gosh. You know what? And it seems like you go to all the games, and those tickets are not that inexpensive. It costs a lot. So that's a very expensive hobby. You have to be a serious Buckeye fan.
Well, it is. And last week, I'll tell you what, the game against Maryland, and you fly into Baltimore, and I didn't know that College Park, where the University of Maryland is, it's almost an hour away from Baltimore. So getting over there, you just can't call a cab anymore. It's more of the Ubers and all kind of stuff like that. And I don't have that kind of stuff on my phone. And so I end up getting a ride out to the football game and getting a ride back. But I'm going to have to catch up with the modern day technology.
Yeah, I understand that, because when it's don't laugh, listening audience, but when I went to New York just recently, I wanted to call the taxi, the yellow cab or the taxi cab, and that is unheard of. You got to
the same. Listen, ain't that the craziest thing? Used to be in New York 10 years ago, 15
yeah,
years ago. The
yeah,
cab line was lined up and
yeah,
they were
yeah,
fighting over fares.
yeah,
It's what they
yeah,
called them at the time.
yeah.
Now you can't find a cab.
Yeah, yeah, you better call Uber or Lyft or one of those other companies that'll pick you up, because you will not be able to get where to your destination. But you know what? I watched you at the games and in the community and everything. You do more than just that. I mean, I know that's your fan, but that's your hobby. But you have taken it a step uh, uh, beyond just cheering on the OSU game and everything. Could you tell the listening audience about some of those projects that you do as wearing your Buckeye gear and stuff? Could you tell them about the projects, the give back projects that you're doing in our community?
Well, we certainly give to the firefighters for kids.
Yeah.
We've been in the past. I've rang the bell for the Salvation Army. I donate to the Salvation Army. It's the strangest thing. Also, the Parks and Recs. I make sure I go out to the Parks and Recs and see the kids, bring the kids toys, bikes, this, that, and the other. And so I want to be in my community where a kid can walk up and go, oh man, there's that guy on TV and he's at my Parks and Rec right now.
Yeah.
I can touch his cape. I can feel him. I can talk to him. And so if you can see it, you can be it. And I understand that all too well. And so I want to give everybody the opportunity to see Buckeye Guy up close and personal, because it will do something for you when you see somebody on TV that comes into your life and he doesn't disappoint you and he's just as cool as a fan. That's what I strive to do.
You know what? You forgot to tell people how you go into the hospitals and see children that are ill with the Buckeye. You didn't tell them that. That you go see some of the children that are ill and everything. What is their response when they see you?
Here it is. Before the worldwide pandemic came along in 2020, I certainly used to visit a lot more in the hospitals. Now I can only come into the actual lobbies. And if somebody would invite me up, I was talking to somebody that's strange, that works for the James Hospital. And she says, Buckeye Guy, when I was just now starting, you used to come up and go door to door and cheer everybody on and this, that, and the other. Well, you can't do that anymore because of the viruses and stuff going on. So they said, we're going to do that on a limited basis. We'll try to get the patients that are able. We'll bring them down, and you can visit with them in the lobby, pass out autographs, all kind of stuff like that. Now I still do my longest running visitation in Zanesville. Zanesville, I go to a retirement village down there, and I've been doing that for years, 20 years almost, every year, and I can't wait to get back. It's always good to come and spread some cheer and bring a smile to somebody's face.
Oh yes. And also you come to people's parties if they're invited. Because
Oh my God, yeah. You want to come and cut a rug and do all kind of cool things at all kinds of different events.
And it brought a lot of reminiscing, because it was people that had graduated from OSU. We all worked together, and it brought it just cheered us up a lot. To have the Buckeye Man come in. But it was a surprise when they came in, is to have the Buckeye Man come in and do the fight.
Let me tell you, I had such fun that time. You had some of the most influential people in the state and out of the state at your event, and I was so happy to walk in there and be received, wholeheartedly. It was unbelievable, and I look for our next occasion like that.
Oh yeah, you know what? That was a surprise to everybody. I didn't tell them. I did not tell them that we were going to.
Isn't that awesome? I'm telling you, talk about a surprise. Here comes the internationally recognized, Buckeye Guy, and there he is at your event, and it was unbelievable.
Yes. That's what. So I like to, I think that and a lot of your proceeds go to helping the kids. That's what I love about having you as a part of the bringing you in and seeing all the work that you're doing, giving out bicycles to children and toys and, cheering them up when they're having a difficult time in their lives, and also seniors and everything. Because all of us,
Yeah, I'm
everybody from Columbus can almost identify. I mean,
I'm
everybody. You got to be, I don't know, something wrong with you if you can't identify with the OSU Buckeyes living in
I'll
Ohio.
tell you, I'm real partial to Beatty Recreation Center. I like
Uh-huh.
all the actual centers
Uh-huh.
that I grew up going to. Windsor
Uh-huh.
Recreation, I do stuff
Yeah.
there. St.
Yeah.
Stephen's, don't forget St. Stephen's has been a
Thank
bit
you.
integral
Oh
part
yeah.
of several people's
Yeah.
lives. And I
Yeah.
like to try to get by there as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And it's just, I do better when the actual events are at the beginning of the week or up to midweek, because on the
Yeah.
weekends I'm trying to make plans to travel or get
Yeah.
down to the game and do all kinds
Yeah.
of things like that.
Yes, 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 yes. And I've seen you on national TV. I think
Oh
it was
no,
I think they showed you on it might have been the Maryland or the Penn State game, but just this year I saw they did a flash or two.
sure. Now don't
Yeah.
forget there were 17 million viewers watching Ohio State this Saturday. And
Oh
like I
yeah.
say, it wasn't the ideal outcome, but for
Yeah.
17 million people
Oh
to
yeah.
see that game
Oh
and to
yeah.
see Buckeye there cheering on his team,
Oh yeah.
even though, like I said, it wasn't the ideal outcome, I
No.
was certainly there rooting my
Yeah.
team on.
Yeah, and it's awesome, to even be in the stadium when they're playing Michigan. That it's hard as heck trying to get those tickets to the Michigan game. I remember I almost lost my friendship over a friend. He told me that was a serious infringement on our friendship if I couldn't get those season basketball tickets when I was at OSU. So my dad, he said, "Well, he's got a point." Nobody. He said, "You better get those tickets for the game." But it's a lot of fun, and we have lots of fun with it, and you have lots of fun with it, and doing a lot of good things in the community. Are the Buckeye men or women at the game?
It's such a fun time running into fans
Uh huh.
of all ages. The
Uh huh.
kids are just amazed to see me in person.
Uh
And
huh.
even the kids of all ages, the adults, like, oh my God, dude, I just
Uh huh.
seen you on TV. I'm like, yeah. Here I
Yeah.
am at your
Yeah.
fourth grade recital. And that
Yeah.
means a lot to them as well
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
Buckeye guy to come out and give so much of your time, because
Yeah.
that's all I got there is time. And I'd like to share it with as many as I possibly can.
Uh,
And it looks bright. The
it's
future looks bright here in
it's a
Columbus, Ohio, and beyond. Like I say, I want to bring as many smiles as I possibly can to the community.
And that's what you are doing. You're bringing a lot of smiles and a lot of people reminiscing about when they were at OSU. It's good. And that you know what I know. What has been the? I mean, out of all the years you've been a Buckeye man, what has been the aha moments? I mean, one of the most aha moments that you had being a Buckeye man.
Oh, here it is. I'll tell you, it had to be this Saturday watching the team,
Uh-huh.
and I was just so downtrodden.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the TV camera seeing Buckeye guy, he's not happy and jubilant
Mm-hmm.
because of the proceedings. And up walks our mascot, Brutus the Buckeye, and consoles Buckeye guy in front of
Oh.
17 million people. My phone
Oh.
went crazy. It was like everybody says, Buckeye guy, you're getting a
Uh-huh.
hug from Brutus. I'm like, yeah, I needed a hug from
Uh-huh.
Brutus or anybody else at
Yeah,
that time.
yeah.
Because the final score, of course, was 45-23.
Yes,
Not the
yes.
ideal outcome, but I was
No.
happy that Brutus came over
Brutus came up
and
and
helped
said,
me out.
"Oh, yes, yes." But you know what? Didn't you win an award or something, a Hall of Fame award as a Buckeye?
Absolutely. I'm in the
Tell us more.
ESPN Fan Hall of Fame. They
What?
definitely voted me in as one of 10 Hall of Famers. There's
Uh-huh.
9 living left. And I'll
Uh-huh.
tell you, it was a great time. They flew my wife out to New
Uh-huh.
York for a couple of days.
Uh-huh.
And then they limousine me over to Bristol,
Oh,
Connecticut.
ta, ta,
It's
ta, ta.
about from Columbus to Dayton. And we
Oh,
get there, and I'm telling you, it's the
oh,
worldwide leader for a fact. And I was
oh,
happy to
wow.
be a part of all that. We stayed down there 2 or 3 days, if I remember correctly.
Oh my gosh, that is awesome. Well, I know it happened a while back, but congratulations to you. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
it's unbelievable.
It's
I'm telling you,
awesome.
ESPN
Yeah.
Fan Hall of Fame, and they got like a thing set up like the Football Hall of Fame in Canton. And so
Uh-huh.
I've got a bus down there permanent at ESPN. And I'll
Oh,
tell you, that was a high honor. And
wow.
so they voted in, and then you had call-in votes of fans all around the country and the world, and they
Oh,
voted old Buckeye guy in
they voted for the
as
Buckeye
a
man.
ESPN Fan Hall of Famer.
Wow, wow. What a awesome, awesome hobby. Now, you know what? What's next for you?
So here's the cool
What's
thing:
your plan? Huh?
on my cape, I always make sure to show everybody my HOF, and HOF stands
Oh,
for
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. And I make sure to say,
Oh,
listen,
wow.
if you're in the Sesame Street Hall of Fame, it's a Hall of Fame. And
Yes.
you've got a Hall of Fame too, the
Yes, I
Columbus
got
Basketball Hall
I'm
of
a
Fame.
Hall of Fame.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
I'd love to see the way that you bring that along. And that event there, I want to give you kudos as well. That
Thank
event there is unbelievable. And it's so
oh,
good that you recognize all of the folks here in Central Ohio and beyond.
yeah, that's the Greater Columbus Basketball Legends Association Hall of Fame. I just love working with that organization, and
Well,
I just couldn't believe that they
here's a
voted
little
me
full
in.
disclosure. I got
Yeah,
a good chance to talk to Skip
yes.
just yesterday. But Skip said, Buckeye guy, I let you have a few days to calm down before I called you, but I want to call and console you like Brutus consoled you. So I was talking to a Hall of Famer from a Hall of Famer, and
Yeah.
it was unbelievable.
Yes, that is so awesome. You know what? It's so admirable just watching you and knowing that I know you, and I just
Yes.
and knowing that the work that you're doing is truly giving back in our community, helping those, that you're just not doing it just to be up front. It's more than that, it's helping our children and keeping the spirit of OSU.
It was probably 10 days ago
Yeah.
that Mayor Ginther and City Council President Shannon Hardin, they
Uh-huh.
named a street after Joe Walsh. Joe
Oh,
Walsh is the lead guitar player for the Eagles, and everybody loves the Eagles.
yeah.
And he was in town, and
Oh,
he looks out and says, "Man, dude, I've seen you on TV from the podium." And everybody's like, "Oh my God, he even knows Buckeye Guy. Buckeye Guy even known by Joe Walsh." Come to find out, Joe Walsh grew up here in Columbus, Ohio,
yeah,
grew up on Summit Street,
yeah.
and he ended up joining a band called the James Gang
Uh-huh.
back in the 70s. And he
Uh-huh.
pointed to his friend that lived on Summit Street with him. He
Uh-huh.
says, "If it wasn't for this guy right here, I'd be at White Castle's flipping burgers right now."
Wow.
So
That's
for Joe Walsh to mention Buckeye Guy in his speech, I thought it was unbelievable.
Oh, so you're just all over the place, just doing really good things for our community. I'd like to thank you for being on this week's program. We'll probably have you back at another time to talk about some of the things that we're doing in our community, but that you're doing in our community. But Buckeye Man, I'd like to thank you for being on this week's program of Ask Yolanda in the Know. And everybody out there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the like button if you like this show. I thank you so much. Love you, and you can't do anything about it.
Thank you guys. Go Buckeyes.
No, go Bucks. OH.
IO.